So ChatGPT is an incredibly powerful tool for any real estate agent on YouTube today. It's not an understatement to say that it is going to completely revolutionize the content creation process for YouTubers. It can do everything from creating incredibly clickable YouTube titles to coming up with some amazing YouTube video ideas to actually writing the scripts for those videos entirely for you, if you know the right prompts to use with ChatGPT. That's why today we're going to go over what I think are the 6 most important prompts that every real estate agent YouTuber needs to know today. All right, so here we are in the back end of ChatGPT, and if you haven't used this before, you can get to it by going to chat.openai.com. I have a link to it down in the description below as well. Now, once you get into ChatGPT, up top here, you have an option of GPT 3.5 and GPT 4. 4 is the latest and more advanced version. However, it is a little bit slower than 3.5, but we're going to be using 4 for purposes of today. Either one of them will suffice. Now, ChatGPT is a free tool. You can pretty much do everything I'm going to show you today for free. However, they do have a paid plan as well. It's $20 a month. That is what I'm using. And what that gives you is effectively like unlimited, or it gets you more uses of this thing every single day. And I use it quite a bit sometimes. And it gives you priority because sometimes there's so many users using it that it just takes a little while for it actually to respond. But all right, let's jump right in. And the first prompt that I want to talk to you about is, let's start at the very beginning to get ideas for YouTube videos, because this is something that a lot of us struggle with, is what videos do we actually make? Now, I've got some prompts already typed up. These are the actual prompts that I use. I've tested these out. I've tweaked them. And so we're going to use this very first prompt to get video ideas about a topic. We're going to type this down here. And so what this prompt is ones that I've created myself. Write me a list of 20 YouTube video ideas which will rank in YouTube search for the term. And in this example, I'm going to do moving to Maryland. We just hit enter, and now ChatGPT is going to go and look at that search and get an idea of what videos are ranking on YouTube or even on Google, and it's going to come up with video ideas based off of what is actually working right now, and create an entire list of 20 ideas. So let's take a look at these ideas, see if they're actually worth anything. Top 10 things you need to know before moving to Maryland. Bam, that's a fantastic video idea. That's actually one of my best performing videos right there. Maryland cost of living, what to expect when you move. Bam, fantastic video idea. Everybody should have a cost of living video. Moving to Maryland, a comprehensive city versus rural living comparison. That's really unique. I've not seen that yet, but that is a great idea for a YouTube video about moving to Maryland. Why I moved to Maryland, pros and cons. That's not a bad idea. A detailed guide to moving to Maryland's education systems for new residents. Definitely something that you can do. You can talk about the public schools, and we have a lot of private schools here as well. Tour of new homes in Maryland, moving day vlog. That one's, sometimes you can use these as like inspiration. You don't have to do exactly what it says. So I would take out moving day vlog, but tour of new homes in Maryland, yeah, that's a great idea. Touring new home communities in Maryland. Maryland real estate tips for first-time home buyers, perfectly fine. Best neighborhoods in Maryland, a new residents' perspective. Exploring local cuisine in Maryland. So as you can see, you can just get a lot of great ideas here about videos to make. And this is just about moving to Maryland. If you typed in moving, let's try this prompt again. But I'm going to type in a city name instead. So moving to Annapolis, Maryland. And so this is probably going to be much more specific about Annapolis and kind of like the unique characteristics and unique communities in Annapolis. Now, some of these are pretty similar. 10 reasons to move to Annapolis, Maryland. The cost of living in Annapolis, Maryland. Annapolis neighborhood guide, your perfect spot. So Annapolis neighborhood guide, that is a great idea for a video right there. Now, let's say you get, you go through all of them. And you're like, yeah, okay, I got some great ideas. I want something more. You can type down here, let me wait for a finish. You can type a prompt that says try again. And what it's going to do is going to do the prompt again, but give you a completely new list. So now let's type in try again. And it already knows what my last prompt was. and it's going to redo that, but with whole new 20 video ideas right there. Annapolis relocation, unpacking my new life in Maryland's capital. Annapolis versus Baltimore, moving decision guide. That's a great one. Annapolis versus Baltimore. So now that we have a great video idea, let's take the cost of living in Annapolis, a detailed breakdown. And let's expand on it. Now let's use ChatGPT to write an entire YouTube video script about this topic. Now, I want to show you one secret tip that I use when I use ChatGPT, and that is that I open up a Word document as well. So let's say you're just looking for video ideas. You can come in here and get the video ideas that you like and copy it over into that Word document. But let's take this title right here. I'm going to copy this and put this over in the Word document, right? Just copy and paste it. I like this idea for a video. So now we're going to create a script, and I've got a prompt right here that I've created and that I personally use. And I'm going to copy this, go back to ChatGPT. I'm going to type that prompt in here. And now what I'm going to do, let me take out this video idea. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to copy this prompt, the cost of living in Annapolis, a detailed breakdown. And let me read this prompt to you down here that I've written. Write me a YouTube video script outline about the following topic. Break the video up into sections. Each section should include detailed bullet points with facts about it. The video should be at least 10 minutes long. Include a strong hook at the start of the video to capture the viewer's attention. Semicolon, and then this is where you type in whatever you want for the video to be about. And here I'm going to copy and paste the cost of living in Annapolis, Maryland, a detailed breakdown. And I hit enter, and it's going to think for a second, and then it's going to start generating an entire outline for a video based on the cost of living in Annapolis, Maryland. This is pretty amazing because it's searching through thousands, hundreds of thousands of websites to get this information. It's kind of compiling it all, and now it's going to create this about the cost of living in Annapolis, Maryland. It should be citing facts and have actual numbers and facts in here. And it's going to be creating a hook for you as well. So let's come up to the top here and read what this hook is. Start with captivating visuals of Annapolis, focusing on the housing, stores, restaurants. We don't need to skip that part. Thinking about moving to Annapolis, Maryland, you may be wondering, how much is it going to cost me? Well, stay tuned to find out everything you need to know about the cost of living in this charming waterfront city. I love that. That's a great hook right there. Now, I'll be honest, like I feel like I could probably fine tune that. I could tweak that, make it a little bit more dramatic, a little bit stronger of a hook. But I think like that is a solid introduction to a cost of living video. And then, what I would do is a brief maybe call to action, like, hey, real quick, my name is Malcolm Lawson, Maryland real estate agent, and then get right into the content. So I love it. That's a great hook right there. So now let's so if I were to do this video, I would say, all right, so the first thing I want to talk about is the cost of housing in Annapolis, Maryland. And you come down here and then you'd look at these bullet points and kind of summarize them in your own words. I like doing it this better. I don't write this way better. I don't write full scripts. I write bullet points and then I kind of summarize them. So discussion of the average rent, discuss the average rent for different types of apartments in various neighborhoods. Cost of buying a home, present the average price of homes in Annapolis, Maryland. So one thing let's say I'm not real wild about this. I wish that it had actual numbers in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell ChatGPT down here, I'm going to say rewrite section 2, but include numbers and statistics. And what it's going to do is just rewrite that one section. And this is where the benefit of copying and pasting videos really the scripts really come in. So let's copy and paste this entire script right here. Copy, and we're coming over here into our Word document and we're going to paste it. So so far it looks like a good solid script, but I'm not wild about section 2. I wish it actually had facts and numbers in there. So I'm going to ask it to rewrite that section for me. And here we go. The average rent, discuss specifics about rental prices. According to Rent Cafe of 2023, the average rent in Annapolis is around $1,800 per month for a 1-bedroom apartment, upwards of $2,200 for a 2-bedroom apartment. According to Zillow, blah, blah, 2023, the median home value in Annapolis is around 420,000. Perfect. So that's what we want. And so I'm going to copy this, go back to my Word document and go to section 2, and I'm going to delete section 2 and paste in my new section. So there we go. Now, and this is how I like to do the scripts, get scripts from this. I don't like to just take what they made and just read it verbatim. I like to kind of fine tune it, tweak it. Now I can go in here, I can edit it. So next it talks about the cost of transportation in the area, food, healthcare, education, leisure activities, and then a little conclusion. So there you go. Like this probably did 80% of the work for you for a script, right? Now, I want you to actually go through, read through this whole thing and kind of elaborate on it, kind of put it in your words and really just use these as bullet points though, that when you're making the video, you can kind of look at these facts and then summarize it in your own words to the camera. And once again, if you want to elaborate on any of these things, so like food, right? Let's say, what section was that? Food was section 4. I could say, rewrite section 4, include facts and numbers. Let's say, numbers and statistics. And it's going to rewrite that section for me, and you can fine tune it and tweak it yourself as well. So incredibly powerful. Like this is saving you so much time researching this information yourself. All right, so now we have a video idea, cost of living in Annapolis, Maryland. We have a video script. And, I'll be honest, here's another thing that we could do. I wish that this script would have just included all the numbers. I don't know why I didn't include the numbers to begin with, but this is part of ChatGPT is you have to kind of play around, massage the prompts that you give it. It's all about the prompts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in here, include average cost and statistics. Right, I'm just going to add that to the prompt just to make sure that it is doing that for all the sections. All the sections should look like this, where it has the actual numbers. That's really just for the specific script about cost of living. And yeah, so now we got a video idea. We've got a script more or less that we can fine tune and tweak a little bit. Now let's say that we want to create a title for it. This is actually one of my favorite things to do with ChatGPT is writing titles for my videos. And one thing that you can do is you can actually go back to old videos that maybe weren't performing as well as you want them to, or maybe, they're 2 years old. You didn't know how to write good titles back then. And you can use ChatGPT to write really great titles. So let me stop this. And I'm going to give you the prompt that I use to generate title ideas. So the prompt is, write me a list of 20 clickbait YouTube video titles under 60 characters. Keeping it under 60 characters is pretty important on YouTube because if it gets too long, it gets truncated and then you can't see the entire title. And then I have colon, and then the topic is going to be cost of living in Annapolis, Maryland. And let's see what kind of clickbaity titles it can come up with about this topic. Is Annapolis, Maryland too expensive? Here's the truth. I mean, that's pretty clickbaity. That's pretty good, actually. Living in Annapolis, affordable or budget busting? How I survive in Annapolis on a shoestring budget. Shocking cost of living in Annapolis. Is it worth it? Like that's not a bad one. The real cost of living in Annapolis. Is it worth it? Like that's a pretty good title right there. And so again, like what I would do is, I would come in here and maybe I like this title, and I'll come over here to my Word document. Maybe I'll post that title. And then what other ones do I like? Busting myths about Annapolis living costs, Annapolis paradise costs, nightmare, costs a nightmare, decoding Annapolis living on a budget in Annapolis, my top tips. So you can copy and paste a few of these titles that you like, and then you can kind of come in here and fine tune them to how you like them. Actually, I think this is a real good title right here. The real cost of living in Annapolis, Maryland. Is it worth it? And so that you can do this for your old videos that are not performing very well until you come up with a really clickable title. And again, if you don't like this list, you didn't find anything, you can say, rewrite this. or you can give it other prompts. You can say, rewrite this and make them more dramatic, right? So it's going to rewrite that list, but it's going to make it, have more, drama to it. The shocking truth about Annapolis living costs. Is it outrageous? Or you could type something like, rewrite this and optimize it for SEO. So there you go. That if you do that, it may just make sure it includes that phrase, cost of living in Annapolis, Maryland. Let's see, the hidden truth, unveiling the Annapolis cost of living in Annapolis, navigating the high living cost. That's actually not a bad one. Annapolis exposed the real rising cost of living. So as you see, a lot of these are really good clickable titles. And some of these can also be other video ideas. A lot of these would make other really great videos. But now we got the idea for a video. We got a script. I like this title. I like this first title, The Real Cost of Living in Annapolis, Maryland. Is it worth it? And so what I would do now is, let's come back over here. So the next thing I want to do is the tags for my video. Tags are less and less relevant these days. And so I don't put a whole lot of time in researching my tags. Some people say that you should. There's a lot of big YouTubers don't use any tags. But if you are going after search traffic, it's still best practices to use tags. Just don't put too much time into it. And ChatGPT is a great way to save time on that. So let me show you my prompts that I've used to create tags for my YouTube videos. Write me a list of keywords to use as YouTube tags, separated by commas and under 500 characters. Each keyword should be a variation of, and then I'm going to put whatever like my target keyword is or what the video is. So cost of living in Annapolis. And let's see what it comes up with. Now, it's important to have this separated by commas, because if you don't put that in there, it's going to give you a list. And it's important to say under 500 characters, because that's the maximum number of characters that you can have all your tags combined, like in that text field on YouTube. And so what you could do is just copy and paste this entire thing into your YouTube tags. And if it's separated by commas, you can create each of these as a separate tag. So Annapolis living costs, cost of living, Annapolis, Maryland living expenses, living in Annapolis cost of life in Annapolis, Maryland living costs, expenses of living in Annapolis. So as you see, it's a lot of different variations of this. And this is going to kind of help optimize you for any of these searches. So if somebody types in Maryland, Annapolis cost of living, that is something that somebody may type in, and you may be like the only video with that exact tag. And what you could do is literally just copy this entire thing, you post it into YouTube for your tag. So look, I can put that right here. So here's my tags for this video. Now, the next thing that you can do is write a description about the video as well. So descriptions, again, is less and less relevant these days. It is still best practices. And what I recommend is that you write 1 to 2 paragraphs about what the video is talking about, and try to use some keywords in there organically, like moving to Maryland, buying a home in Maryland, living in Maryland, these types of things. And ChatGPT is actually fantastic about it, doing that. Now, so here is the prompt that I've come up with. Write me 150 words to use as a YouTube video description optimized for SEO about cost of living in Annapolis, Maryland. And it's going to create some organic talk, organic description about this topic. And you can literally just copy and paste this right into your description. This is going to help you optimize for SEO. Join me as we delve into the real cost of living in Annapolis, Maryland. A video provides an in-depth analysis of the expenses you'll face in Annapolis, breaking down everything from housing costs, utility, and costs of food, healthcare, education, and even leisure activities. Whether you're planning on renting or buying, yada, yada, yada. Like, I think that's a pretty good description right there. Yeah, and so I would just copy this entire thing and then paste that right into the description of my YouTube video, and you're good to go. You don't have to think about this too much. There used to be a lot of time where I would have to like try to really think about like how do I organically work some of these words in there? What do I write? Super simple. And so again, you could go back to old YouTube videos that maybe you didn't have a description, maybe you didn't have a good description, and you can put in a brand new description, brand new tags, and much more clickable title, and just kind of help optimize those for the YouTube algorithms and for YouTube search as well. Like I think that's a fantastic use of your time, is to go back and kind of update old videos that you think should be performing better than they really are. Now, there's one final thing that you can do with this, and that is to actually write a full article about this topic as well. This is something that I often do. Like what I like to do is write full articles and then embed my videos in those articles. And so this is a cost of living in Annapolis, Maryland, what to expect when moving to the state's capital. This is a full article that ChatGPT wrote for me about the cost of living in Annapolis, Maryland, that I've published, and it's up on the internet right now. The only thing I had to do was, I did some tweaking, some fine tuning. I just had to add the images to the article, and then I was able to publish this full article. And I'm going to give you the prompt for this right now. Now, some people, maybe you don't like working off of a bullet point outline like this, and maybe you want more detail. And so you may want to actually have it write an entire article like this for you. And then you can use this article as your outline for your video. So you could essentially, what I would do is, like, I would read this paragraph and then I would just kind of summarize that entire paragraph to the camera. And that may be easier for you than writing an outline to a video. But let me show you what my prompt is here for writing an entire article about this topic. And I publish a lot of articles. I have probably like 75, 80 articles on my website, and I use ChatGPT to help me write these articles now. It's amazing, and it saves me a lot of time. But here's what the prompt for writing this article. Write me an article in casual tone based on this script. Include links to text, to sources. Use bold, italic, and underline to highlight sections. Use section subheadings and bullet points when applicable. Write at least 250 words to 500 words per section. Any numbers you use, make them bold. Use wording and cadence to not be detected by Google as written by AI. Now, since I've already have a script in this chat conversation, I should be able to just hit enter, and it should find that script and then turn that script into an article. But let's say you haven't done that yet. You could just kind of tweak that a little bit to say, write it about the cost of living in Annapolis. But what it's going to do is go look at the script that it created for us earlier and turn that into a full article. And this is like amazing. And I think that this is best practices. When you publish a YouTube video about your area, I highly recommend that you also publish an article and embed your YouTube video in that article. And I have many search terms where my videos rank on the first page of Google for the search term, but my articles with the videos in them also rank on the first page of Google. And what I like about articles is that you can include links to additional resources, right? That's really something you can do that technically on YouTube videos, but it's not as common to do that. And I just see, like, this is a really detailed and in-depth article that is writing right here. Now, at some point, it's going to stop doing it. ChatGPT can only write about 800 to 1,000 words per prompt, and then it's going to stop. And there's a secret. You have to say continue. And if you say continue, then it will continue on to the next 800,000 words and so on. This is kind of a frustrating thing that kind of took me a while to figure out. But as you can see, this is a very well in-depth article that is writing right now. And I've been going through and writing a lot of articles about my area using ChatGPT. So this is a great example right here. The moving to Annapolis, Maryland, the ultimate guide, and then I can embed my YouTube videos right in it. And I have links to Annapolis History Museum and Annapolis schools and amenities and different local restaurants and bars. It did all of this for me. I just had to include the images, but this is a really thorough article all about the ultimate guide to moving to Annapolis, Maryland. And this is essentially a script right here. I could have it write this article and then use this as a script and for my YouTube video. So as you can see, it started writing it, and it stopped. It didn't write the entire thing. And what you have to type in is continue. And if you say continue, it'll continue on with what it was doing, and just kind of continue to where it was. It can only do 800,000 words or so per section, which is pretty frustrating. But there you go. That's, my prompts for using ChatGPT for YouTube. I will have links to all of these prompts that I've specifically used in the description of my YouTube video. If you guys want to copy and paste these in a Word document and just save that Word document for yourself somewhere on your computer. Hey, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you check out my YouTube lead gen course. This course goes over everything that real estate agents need to know to get started on YouTube and how to create a lead generation machine that works on autopilot, including what videos you should be making, how to optimize those videos for YouTube, and how to actually generate leads off of those YouTube videos. If you want to learn more about my course, I have a link to it down in the description below, or you can just head on over to youtubeleadgen.com.